go for this one over that one, even though the price is like almost double. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. No, I did not forget to get ready for my video, okay? We're gonna put our foundation on together because it is Wear Test Wednesday and my name is Delana Cherie, by the way. Cherie is where the Cherie makeup comes from. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Foundation wears, how the longevity is, the coverage. I'm gonna be giving you guys all of the details, like the down low on everything, per usual, as we do every Tuesday on my channel. I am going to leave a little screenshot of the product right here for you guys so that you can pause the video and read the details on it if you'd like. It retails for $38. It does recommend using with a primer, and of course it recommends their primer. I don't think I have any of their primers, so I'm just gonna use my favorite primer, and it says to use it with a brush. So obviously it recommends their brush, but I don't have any of their brushes, so I'm just gonna use a foundation brush that I like. So I got the shade R230, which is also known as Ivory on the website. However, if you go in store, it doesn't say like Ivory or anything on the boxes. It just has the letters and the numbers. So make sure that you look at the letter / number of the shade if you're going to shop, because that's what the Ivory and stuff like that is, just like a description of the shade, but the actual shade name is going to be the R230. So keep that in mind. So like usual, I'm going to do my Cover FX blurring primer, and I'm just going to do that on one side of my face so that we can see how it wears with a primer and how it wears without a primer. So I'm going to do the primer on the left side of my face. By the way, leave a comment. Let me know how you guys like my lashes, because these are half lashes, so it's not a full set. I don't know how I feel about them, so let me know if you guys like them or if you think they look awkward. Okay, so I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics 123 brush. I freaking love this brush so much. Anytime I need to use a foundation brush, this is the one that I go for. So I'm going to apply it. I think I just got way too much on my brush, but I'm going to apply it. Well, I'm going to try to apply it on the unprimed side first. Oh yeah. Definitely full coverage. Oh my gosh, I got way too much on my brush. Okay, let's try to blend this out. I was gonna try to apply it to my unprimed side and then my primed side, but since I got too much on my brush, we're just gonna have to go with it. It's easy to blend at first, but then as it dries down, it feels like it starts to get a little bit stiff. So I'm gonna go over it with a damp sponge just to kind of blend it into the skin a little bit more, and maybe also absorb a little bit of the product because I think I've applied too much. And the other times that I've worn it, I have applied it with a sponge, and I feel that it applies perfectly fine with the sponge. I think that you do save product, and I was thinking about this earlier. I think that you do save product if you initially apply your foundation with a brush, like no matter what foundation it is. If you apply it with a brush and then you go in and go over it with a sponge, that's what a lot of pro artists do. Like that's what I was thinking about earlier. I was like, why do a lot of pro artists like not use a foundation sponge? Because a lot of celebrity artists won't apply foundation with a sponge. They apply it with a brush, and then they oftentimes will go over it with a sponge. And I was like, well, it could be because that's what they kind of grew up on as an artist, or what they were trained with, or it could just be that maybe the sponge absorbs a lot more product. Oh yeah, this looks a lot better after going over it with a sponge. It's definitely on the matte side, which is true to its name. There's a hair on my face, hold on. But it's like a soft matte. It feels like it's definitely not hydrating, but it doesn't feel like their original Velvet Matte foundation, because that one is like almost chalky matte. So if you're like oily, like that one is a really good one because it's really good at controlling oil. However, this one feels a lot softer on the skin. Like it doesn't feel as chalky and like matte. I don't think that dry skin would want to wear this. I don't think it's really gonna do much for you, but I don't think it would make you miserable if you were gonna wear it, you know? Like some matte foundations, dry people will be like, oh my gosh, get this off of my face, sucking the life out of me, and I don't think that this is one of those, but it definitely won't be your preference in foundation if you're dry. So after applying it with the brush and then blending it in with the sponge, here is how everything is looking all by itself. I really like the texture of it so far. This is always how it is with matte foundations. The texture is just a little bit more textured than like a natural to dewy finish foundation because it really adheres and like dries down and almost looks like a powder rather than like a creamy, like soft liquid texture. But it's definitely not anywhere on the lines of like the Fenty foundation or the original Velvet Matte foundation. It's definitely looks a lot more natural than those ones. With me having normal to dry skin, I'm feeling like I'm probably not going to be reaching for this foundation again, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it lasts. We still got plenty of hours in the day. It is currently 3 o'clock right now. I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna apply my powders. I will set one side of my face with powder and one side of my face with setting spray because we want to see how it lasts without powder. I will see you guys in my next check-in. Alright guys, so usually whenever I hop off to apply the rest of my makeup, it's on to the next check-in, but I just got done applying the rest of my makeup. It's now 3:18 and I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but like right here, whenever I was applying my highlight down my nose, it picked up on the side that's not powdered. Like this side is powdered and this side is not powdered, and it like really picked up on the side that is not powdered, and that is like one of my biggest pet peeves. Whenever I go to apply blush or bronzer or highlight or whatever, any kind of powder product, and the foundation picks up underneath it while you're trying to apply it, that is like the most annoying thing ever. Yeah, that happened. Everything else went really well though. This side is honestly looking just as matte as the powdered side. So my right side is powdered, my left side is not. However, I did just powder under the eyes to set my concealer because I have to set my concealer, but I didn't powder the face. This side is just as matte, so we'll see if it stays that way throughout the rest of the day. So yeah, now I will see you guys in my next check-in. Alright guys, so I climbed up on my counter to be closer to the light so that you guys can see a little bit better. As you can see, it's wearing off on my chin. I did not set my chin with powder except for on this side. Also, I fell asleep for a little bit, so that doesn't help because I probably like touched my chin. I was like resting my chin and stuff like that. I'm so tired. I had to like take a little nap. Not a huge fan of how it's looking on my forehead. It has sat in my fine lines in here quite a bit, which is a bit unusual. I don't usually have that problem. Usually it's in here that it's sitting in my fine lines a lot, which it is a little bit, but not like super bad in these, but it's sitting really bad in like right here, which is really weird. I do like the texture of it on the powdered side and the unpowdered side. Like overall, I like the texture of it. I personally won't be reaching for this again, and I kind of knew this going into it because it's a matte foundation and I'm just not a big like matte person. Also, it's gotten quite textured on my nose. Like it's just really broken up. Like if you're somebody who touches your face a lot or you just have dry skin, like it just feels like it's gonna break up. You know what I'm saying? Now it's definitely, like I said earlier, it's less drying than their original Velvet Matte foundation. So if you are in the normal to dry range, you could get away with wearing it, but it's not going to be like your first choice in product. However, I do feel like it would probably be a really good one for oily skin. So that's how I'm feeling right now. We'll do one more check-in before the end of the night. By the way, this is at the 5-hour mark. I've been wearing it for over 5 hours now. So not bad, not great. That's where we are. So it is the end of the night. It is now 10:19 at night and I'm ready to wash everything off of my face. I just wanted to do this last check-in to let you guys see how everything has lasted. Like I said, like it's just really settled in my fine lines right in between my brows here, which I really don't like. Obviously, it has pretty much completely rubbed off on my chin. It has rubbed off quite a bit on my nose, especially on the unpowdered side, and it has broken up right around this area a lot. On this side, it hasn't broken up near as much on the powdered side. So the staying power by itself, like most foundations, isn't perfect or like substantially amazing, but its staying power with the powder on top of it is really nice. I do think that I was like touching my nose a lot, so I'm trying not to judge it too hard for that because I definitely like fell asleep with it on, and I know that I was touching my nose a lot earlier and didn't realize it, so I'm trying not to judge it too hard here. However, on the bridge of my nose, like where it started to pick up, it has still like started to get more textured on the bridge of my nose throughout the day. So I don't know, it's not a horrible foundation, but here's the thing, I definitely 100% like it better than their matte velvet foundation. I mean, that one's perfect if you're like super oily, but if you're somebody who's like maybe combo on the oilier side, then I think that this foundation would actually be a really good one for you. But for me, it's just a little bit too dry. Actually, on my cheek cheek area, it looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with that, and like all over here on my forehead. This is where I tend to hate a lot of foundations. I don't hate it at all. I don't love it. It's not the best foundation in the world for my forehead area, but it's definitely not bad at all. I would say for combo skin, this would be a really good foundation. If you're dry, no, you're not gonna want it. If you're super, super oily, I would just go with the original matte velvet. I think that you'll be happier with the longevity of that one. Yeah, I do like the texture of this one overall better than the matte velvet, but it's definitely not a foundation that I personally will be reaching for. I mean, at $38, that's not a bad foundation price. Most foundations run around the $40 range, 45-ish. So this one is a little bit on the lower side. I think the matte velvet is actually 42, like the original matte velvet. So I do think that this one is not bad for its price. In comparison to like my last wear test, the Sephora collection, I definitely would reach for this one over the Sephora collection foundation, even though it's pricier. Like if I were going in to buy a foundation and I had to pick between the $20 Sephora collection one and the $38 matte velvet skin, I would definitely go for this one over that one, even though the price is like almost double. I just like the texture so much better. But overall, it won't be my first choice in foundation. Make sure to check out some of my other videos here before you leave, and make sure to hit the little subscribe button so that I can create more content like this for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in Friday's video. Bye! Definitely like it better than their Melvet